Okay, so initial 5 to 6 sessions, we will spend time on understanding the new architecture. Then we will start with the hands-on. So, don't be hurry. Like why we are not going to, or don't think like why we will not start or why we are not doing the configuration. Configuration is not a new part for us. The basic configuration we know, the FI configuration we know. So try to understand the new architecture. So I know you have already seen a couple of videos in YouTube. So somehow you know the idea. Let me quickly recap the things like what is this OLTP system, OLAP system, and first of all, why the HANA came into the picture. Hello? Yeah. So how the HANA came into the picture and what was the need of HANA? Why SAP introduced this HANA architecture? Okay, so that we have a good understanding on the product, the new architecture. Already I shared with you two documents. This is the initial documents. Okay, just go through that document and I'm just going to explain the same content today. So right now in any organization, you will find maybe here you will find SAP ERP or maybe you will find some different ERP. So we can say SAP or non-SAP ERP, but they are using some ERP product. SRM, CRM, let's say here BW. So if we will see, let's say in the data center of the organization, you will find different boxes for different type of applications, or we can say it's not the centralized applications we are running. The reason is, first of all, if we will talk about the SAP first introduced here the different base ERP products like your FI, MM, SD. These are PP. These are the SAP products they released. Okay, so in R3 structure you will find this one, and this SRM CRM they introduced later. That means once the globalization started, SAP introduced 16 products here. So in one of the product they introduced like BW for the reporting business analysis point of view, and SRM CRM for one for customer and one for vendor. The reason is why we are operating like this. One thing, like it is not the centralized application we are executing. Second reason may be SAP CRM can be used independently. That means in any organization, if they are not working on SAP product, let's say, that means in this segment, if they are not working on SAP product, they can go for some different ERP products. So this is how currently anywhere they are working, and that time the cloud concept was not there. So this is how all the organizations they are working. So now if we will see in this type of architecture, what are the different challenges? First, let's see the IT challenges. So IT challenges, first one is big data explosion. Again, I will give you one layman example here, like 15 years back or 10 years, 15 years back, when we using the basic mobile phone, what was the memory size of that phone? Very limited, some MBs, right? Whereas now you can see we have in GBs, we have in like 128 GB around the memory size of the phone. The reason is old days, what was the data we are handling and now what are the data we are handling? There is big difference is there. Same is also applicable here also in organization also. So due to the globalization, more data we need to analyze or we need to handle. That means, for example, let's say if we'll take any organization, let's say Novartis. Previously, Novartis earlier, let's say they are only operating in USA and they have very limited area of work. Their customers are limited maybe in their USA and their competitors are also they are in the same city or same country. But due to this globalization, when they started operating in different countries and different locations, they have to handle different data and they have to analyze different reports and they need various informations. So then we can say the this analytical system came into the picture. So this is one. So that means we have more data now to handle. Then internet things. Internet of Things means like for you know how to process a GR. So when we are processing a GR, we are doing the integration and automatically the mirror we are getting a accounting entry. So that is what we did the integration in the FI, and here also we are going to see. We want something automated process. That means the moment the GR will be processed, right, the mirror will be processed, or GR some automatically something will happen. So that means lot of new automation. That means instead of human efforts, we started using the machine effort. So that means we can say a lot of new things, automated things also introduced. These are the, we can say, challenges, right? Then not on HANA, I'm talking about the history. Then multiple server you need to maintain. So multiple server maintenance. So you can see here multiple servers are there. We need to maintain, we need to pay the license fee for multiple servers. We need to pay different consultants salary for this. We need infrastructure and all. So we can say multiple servers we are maintaining. Then the traditional ETL system, I guess you have some idea on this already. I put the video, but we will see once again also. So that is also another challenges. Traditional ETL system. And already earlier we have the hardware cost also huge hardware cost. When initial days laptop introduced, what was the memory? In some MBs, and it was too much cost. Where this RAM size. Whereas right now we are getting in TB's RAM, right? And it is very cost effective. And in day-to-day personal use for purpose, if you want to purchase a laptop nowadays, I guess some 32 GB something RAM is available and in very low cost. So due to this hardware innovation also, we got lot of benefits here. So these are the IT challenges. Okay, then from business point of view, also we will see the challenges. Now, what SAP, what they did here, first of all, we have to understand completely the traditional R3 system where currently we are working. Your current R3 system, the architecture is like this. You have a front end, that is your GUI where you are connecting to the system. Then you have a application layer. This is your application layer, and you have a database. Okay, and here you will find any database. Somewhere maybe you will find a Oracle database, somewhere SQL, somewhere DB2, Sybase, different type of database you are going to find here. Because initially SAP, the language they have introduced, the ABAP language, or they written the program in such a way that it will work on any database. So that's what the earlier they introduced, because SAP never thought about this database. It is some kind of a very common example I used to give. That means in old days, for example, let's say 80s. In 80s, when Hindustan Motors, they are manufacturing the car, right, ambassador car. So that time they were not manufacturing the engine. As for the customer need, they are going to import the engine and they will fit the car on top of it. So that means if customer is asking Isuzu engine, they are going to fit the Isuzu engine. If customer is asking Matador engine, they are going to fit the Matador engine. Same structure here also. SAP only focusing on the ERP part. So ERP part means these two. Okay, these two area, and they are giving the business to the third party and different database as per the customer need. So in this system, it was very good. There was no issue till the time our requirement was very less. In this system, first of all, this database what we are using earlier, this is just a storage house, nothing else. It's just to store the data, like your traditional database, which consists of different rows and columns. And here we are using disk or magnetic disk to store the data. So here you will find lot of tables. Right now you are using various tables, and just to store the data, just to keep the data here. That's it. And in application layer, we have dispatcher and work processors. Okay, work processors are here. And you know, right now the current existing system, we have the locking mechanism is applicable. Locking mechanism means when we are going to use any data, or when we are trying to read the data, or we are going to extract the report, at a time only processor is only one processor is active, other processors are get locked. So these are the disadvantages are there. And this system, we are saying that this is one OLTP system. Okay, so what is OLTP system? OLTP system is nothing but online transaction system. That means, or simple language, if you will say, this is a normal operation report best for your operational reporting or day-to-day activities. That means if we want to run the business and we want the various informations, daily report informations, then this system is okay, because here we have a very limited functions, and basically here we want to handle the operation part. But that's why you can see here the SAP document, their journey, they started from the concept of in-memory platform. So in 2011, that means they have given some device so that it can enhance the speed. But first of all, we have to understand why there was it was slow, right? So in this system, what we have to do then, later, as I told, SAP introduced one product, that is the BW product, that is a business warehouse for the analysis of report. Again, the same concept. Once the globalization started, we are not only dependent on the existing reports, whatever is available in the current R3 system. We need some multi-dimensional reporting, or we can say we need some high-end reporting, because this is one system available for any one location, or let's say for some area. Let's say in one plant they are using SAP, or in two plant they are using SAP. In another location or in another plant, maybe they're using some different ERP product. So we want a system where we can put all the data, okay, and we can do the analysis. So this is your BW system, business warehouse. Again, this database, right now this database, so here you have all your basic tables. Here you will find all the master data tables. Here you will find the aggregate tables, index tables. We have a logic why so many tables are there. We will see also. So different type of tables are there in R3 system. Now here, when this system introduced, the reporting problem solved. But again, this particular system is also based on this particular architecture. That means here also we are using the same type of database, which will only carry the data, which will only store the data. It is not capable of processing the data. So for processing purpose, again, you need to bring the data back to your application layer. Fine. And for reporting purpose, SAP later acquired one company product, that is your BO, business objects. Now here, what are the disadvantages are there? First of all, you need to pull the data from your operation of system, or from your OLTP system. That means we need to bring the data from this system to this system. And when they will do this? Periodically. Maybe they will do this, they will schedule this ETL job weekly, or in 15 days, or in even if they are doing it daily, let's say, so we are not getting, or the business users are not getting the reports online. They have to, let's say today whatever the report we are getting, that is the extra yesterday operation report, right? So it's not the online report. But now due to globalization, we, or business users or customers, companies, they need to take the informations right away. So that means immediately they have to take the system. So this type of architecture is not accepted. This process is known as ETL. So what is ETL? Extract, transfer, and load the data. Why transform is required? Because as I told, in organization they have different systems are there. So from different system, SAP and non-SAP. So from different system, they have to pull the data here for the compilation and for the reporting point of view. So like here they used to use different ETL tools like Informatica or some different ETL tools they're using. Now, initially our reporting problem solved due to this new system or this OLAP system. So that means we can say OLTP system something different and OLAP system is something different. Initially SAP introduced the OLTP system, later with BW they introduced the OLAP system, and your reporting problem solved. But the data keep on increased, right? The data keep on increasing day by day, and initially the system performance was okay, but gradually due to the huge data, the system behaves very slowly. The reason is why? Because first of all, it is not based on a concept where we can process the data. Every time you need to bring back the data application. Like here we are using ECC, here we are using BW. So same concept, you need to bring the back data here for processing purpose, and again you are doing this. In this process, although this system is capable of multi-dimensional reporting, but here the duplicacy of data is there. That means you posted a transaction in the OLTP system, you are taking the same information, same document once again to the OLAP system. So same data is available in both the system, or data redundancy is there, first of all. Second thing, this particular system, in this process, we are using, or we are experiencing the input and output process, IO process, that is commonly known as IO process. So what is IO process? IO process is something like when you are this is the IO process only. Fine. That means if I want to post a transaction, first of all I will do some activity from here. If I am the user, suppose I want to create a purchase order. So before purchase order creation, I need to search what is the material created, what is the vendor created. So my query or my searches will start from here. This is your easy access or front end. Then it will travel to the application layer through a processor. It will search the data. It will search the vendor. It will search the material what is created. It will search all the condition records whatever is created. Okay. Then I am going to add some new informations, how many material I'm going to purchase, what is the what is the quantity, when the expected delivery. So I have added some more information. Then system going to process it, and system is going to create another document, right? So, and another person, they want to see that PO, or let's say they want to process a GR. So they are going to search my informations along with the old informations. They are going to process the GR, and automatic system is going to another one more document, that is your accounting documents. So this is known as your IO process. Every time when your data is traveled here, what we are searching something, it travel like the data is where in the database. Data will be processed where in the that is your processor, and in between we have the DRAM here, the RAM, which is your temporary memory, right? For which like for example, right now when you are processing your system, your laptop, so the entire operating system loaded to your RAM, right? Why? Because here we are, this is the temporary memory, and this is where we are, it will help in the process, to the processor to process the data. But actually where we will process in the processor, where the data is available in the database, but we are using this one. So that means unnecessary we are traveling a lot. So SAP started thinking, instead of using this particular database, a traditional database, why not we should enhance this particular RAM instead of a database, and we can keep all the data here in the temporary memory. Also, we have to accept RAM is a temporary memory or volatile memory. So that means if uh, power goes, or if when we are going to shut down the system, we are also the risk of losing the data is there. So that also they have to work on that area. So with all this concept, SAP thought we should introduce some system where we can apply this database here itself for the processing purpose. For that purpose, they introduce something called, not the database. In 2011, if you'll see here, SAP introduced the in-memory platform. It's not the database, it is in-memory platform, and which is nothing but your BWA. So business warehouse accelerated, just to enhance the speed. Why? Because it is based on the concept of in memory. So when we are saying that it is in memory, so in memory is nothing but where we can process the data, or we can remove the IO process, right? So that means if this is your hard disk, earlier it was a small RAM, small size RAM. This is your RAM, and this is your CPU. And RAM is again like RAM speed, what is that? RPM, round per minute. So if your RPM is good, or sorry, your processor is good, or the RPM speed is good, then it will read and write the data very fastly. So with this, SAP introduced the SAP HANA. SAP HANA, which, so what is HANA? High performance analytical database. No, it's not database, it's appliance. Because with this product, they have here simplified two things. They simplified, or with this, they innovated two things. One is your database, and one, that means hardware part, and also the software part. So that's why we are not saying that it is only the database, it is the appliance. So what is RAM? RAM means they developed some system which is capable of doing both the things, which is capable of doing both the things. That means it is the temporary memory, along with it is also capable of holding the data for a long period, like your RDBMS system. And also later they introduce here a automatic backup system. So that means if something will happen, that we are not going to lose the data. So this is your in-memory technology. Okay, and with this, what are the features here? So this particular system is, one is in memory. That means we are going to use a regular, instead of a regular system, we are going to use a database or some memory or something where it is both capable of processing the data. And that means we don't need CPU. CPU is always required. But here we have automated calculation mechanism also added. So that means here RAM size increased. And this happens due to the, thanks to all your new technology, your hardware cost reduced, right? So in recent years, and so that's why SAP thought to increase the RAM size, and then increase in the capacity of CPU. Again, I will go to the same mobile example. Previously, when I don't remember, like old days when we have a basic mobile phone was there. So that time, some different operating systems are were used, and it is very capable of, like less capable of processing the data. Whereas right now we have some octa-core processors or something like that. Okay, new technology. So that means at a time we are we have a very high RAM as well as we have a high processor also. So that concept where like the locking mechanism was there, now due to the introduction of massive parallel processing. Massive parallel processing means if this is your CPU and here we have multiple processors, right? So now no more locking mechanism. No more locking mechanism. So what is normal locking mechanism means if we are searching a report, let's say from 1st January to 31st December. So one processors like our query is going to, when user is searching the report, the query will split into multiple queries and different processors will be activated. Now we can say each work processor is your processor. So each one is your processor and the query will split into multiple queries or multiple processing unit and it is going to search the data. So this is the advantage of your in-memory concept or in-memory system. And what is the innovation here in the software side? So software side is this is your in-memory. So we are going to keep the data instead of a magnetic plate, traditional RDBMS system. We are going to keep the data in the RAM and which is in memory. So we heard here a lot like it's a in-memory system, in-memory system. So in-memory system is nothing but we have enhanced the RAM size and we developed one system. Later you will see we develop a system which is capable of carrying the data and also the processing the data. Right now in your system, if you'll see the where you have installed the GUI and all, you will see it is like if you are like if suppose you want to like old days we used to install the system application in our laptop in 4.7 versions. So that time if your laptop is 64 bit, then you have to change it to 32 bits. Why? Because SAP will not work, right? If you have ever installed in your laptop, then definitely you must have this type of experience, because SAP was earlier working on the 32-bit operating system, but now due to the upgradation of CPU, so operating system also enhanced to 64-bit, so that's why it is not required now. So that means we can say more command to the CPU for the plugging the data and to receiving the data. Then another concept introduced here, that is your column storage. Column storage means right now when you are going to store the data, so how we are going to store the data? So that traditional database we have changed with a column storage. So let's see one layman example first. So this is the database of a, let's say, bank, and this is the table of master record, master data, and this is the line item data. So here they have different customers are there. Customer name, address, account number, like this. Or if you'll say from SAP point of view, this is your master record for GL or customer, and this is your accounting BSEC. Customer name, here we have multiple fields are there. and we have a total table or total field. Okay. Okay, like this, they have multiple customers, n number of customers are there, and like this, thousands of line items are there. And like for example, here 1000 customers are there, and like this, they have multiple line items are there. Now, suppose we want a particular date. Suppose on let's say this is the only this much transactions are there. We want on a particular date, what is the closing balance of this particular customer? So here, if we need a, information during any time, so we can use here index table. So I can say this is one index table, this is one index table. So we have a logic why the index tables are there, and we need a total balance. So this information is available here. So this is your. Now, how the system is going to search the data here, how system is going to read the data here. First, system will, or the query will go to the master data. From the master data, it will find the customer or customer account number. From this, it is going to read the data from the line item group. And in line items, we have different type of tables are there. And how we are going to store the data? We are going to store the data from left to right format. Okay, so in left to right format, it is going to store the data. So in this process, what is the disadvantage? First of all, if we need a system information, even if for this, let's say the closing balance on particular date, first we have to read all the data which is available. This is known as your traversing process. That means we don't need the date, we don't need the date is required, we don't need the credit, we don't need the debit, right? But system is going to read all the data. So that means we can say in E2 video I have put some different sales order, something I put one example. So that's why I changed here, it's something different one. So we have to traverse all the record and all the sales. This is all the record and all the sales, even if we are interested in one particular single sale. Okay, and here also we know the change management. So even if there is change in one single cell, then there will be the entire record will be rewritten one side within the system, right? So which leads or we can say it required high memory requirement is there. So due to this this concept, because in one single cell, if some changes is there in one record, you want to do the changes, the entire record will be rewritten. So, and why we have a lot of index tables are there? Because we need to optimize the speed. Because right now, when I will explain the universal journal, that time I'll explain. So we need lot of index tables to speed the data faster or to read the data faster. So that concept is indexes are required to optimize the system speed. So that's why we have lot of index tables are there. And right now in the new system or in the HANA system, what they introduce, they have changed this architecture. Instead of the row, they changed to the column. So that means, suppose in this case, what we can do, so maybe this example is not perfectly applicable. It's a very small informations are there. So they are going to each single cell, they are going to convert into the tiny tables. So that means in this case, we can take date as one column. Okay, and this will be one column. This will be one column, and this will be the total is one column. And in this new architecture, system can read the data directly in one particular, or it will not take the it will that means data will store from high range of non-unique values. So non-unique value means duplication of data, because right now if 50,000 is, let's say, appears every month, let's say I'm getting a salary of 50,000, and every month it's credited, let's say on particular date it's credited 50,000. So that means every time when system is going to read the data, we need the closing balance. It is going to read the data every time. Even if we don't need this information, our requirement is the closing balance. So its system is going to read the multiple times. So that means here high data consumption is there, because the data because system is going to read the data in such a way from left to right, and this process is known as traversing process. That means first system is going to read this one, whether it is required, okay, it's required. Then this value, it is required, it's not required, but its system will read this value like this, right? So now let's say this 50,000 appears how many times? 12 times. Now, instead of reading 50,000 12 times, it is just going to take the position, how many times it is there, on which position it is there, right? So let's say on every month it is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. If any changes is required, so directly we can change there itself. So that means no more index tables separately it is required. So that's why you will see in future, like lot of list of index tables they removed from the system, or they removed the tables or different tables in two format, one with 1.0 with the add-on pack, and later with S4hana. Okay, so when we will see the CDS view or compatibility view, that time I'm going to explain. And this is the logic where index tables are no more required, because with one table, that is your universal journal or ACDOC, okay, it is capable of everything. It is capable of, that means index tables are not required, aggregate tables are not required, total tables are not required. So this is briefly about the row columns. In future we will see more. So now we can say we got a system, something which is capable of processing the data. We change the architecture from in memory to we change it to the column, sorry, from row to we change it to the column. And this new system still is not the database. This new system is still the BWA, and which is linked with your primary database, which was earlier, let's say, Oracle. And system is going to take the data from here, and it will, now system is going to read in a faster way, because we have added the booster here. Now what is the, again, some disadvantage? Now your system is going to behave very fast, because we changed the architecture. Now first, when we posted the transaction, one document here, second time here, third time here. So keep on, we are increasing the data, or we can say data duplication is there, data duplication are there. Then how many license cost we need to maintain? Or we are paying the license for it, the OLTP, OLAP, now again BWA. So finally in 2000, if you'll see this one, the concept introduced in 2011, but SAP BW powered by HANA introduced in 2012, which is capable of real-time analysis and real-time reporting. And in 2013, we get, or we got one system that is capable of real-time business, or this one we will come later. So what is the benefit of this system in 2012? In 2012, we got a system like this, or a regular database we got, which is, we need one system which is capable of BWA, which is your in memory. We need one system which is also RDBMS system, because we can't completely rely on the RAM. We have to take a regular system also, the regular database. So then finally SAP introduced here for in memory, they introduce here Trex engine. You won't get all this in your material, but sometimes these terms are coming in the interview as well as certification. It will not come, but in interview they are asking. So this is your Trex engine. So Trex engine, nothing but it is in memory. Then P star time. This is your regular system. And in future, we will see we have something called save point. Save point means automatically as and when we will do the operation or we will post the transaction, system is going to take the backups. Okay, so system is going to take the transaction backup, system is going to take the logical backups also. So that we can use here. So, or SAP introduced here one more concept, that is MaxDB. In fact, MaxDB, they introduced this one earlier, but finally it was not so popular, so they used this one here. So that is your MaxDB. So this is for in-memory, this is a traditional database, or this is like your RDBMS system, and this one is your backup for traditional database. So that's why SAP claiming 100% backup, 100% available system available, this one. But again, don't confuse here. That means no downtime maintenance and all. That is a different concept. This is a different concept. I am going to explain in this one in detail. So far, any question? Hello? Any question so far on this?
No, Pradeep.
Okay, I guess you are a little bit familiar on this area. Pushpak, do you have any question on this? Hello?
No, no, it is okay.
Okay, fine. Now, what is the next one? The next one, you can see here, real-time business, OLAP and OLTP together. So that means we need some system which is based on a new technology or something new we want. So in a traditional system, you have the GUI, you have the application layer, and you have the database. So when we will do the migration, or there are two things are there, or when we will do the conversion, two things are there. One is migration, that is the database migration, first activity. Then there will be a conversion, that is your application change. So right now, this is your presentation layer or GUI. SAP, they said we are going to provide you, but this was not there in 2000 till 2013. We used to log into like this GUI only. Later they changed it. So they said we are going to provide you a new user experience. But before that, let me complete this one here. So that means now we are going to get a system something like this. This is our HANA database, which is in-memory database, and you are going to get, that means earlier you need to maintain multiple systems, OLAP, OLTP. Now with this single database, which is embedded with BW, now you can operate here the ECC, and you can operate here BW. In fact, it is embedded with BW. That's why it is known as appliance, not only a database. So no need to maintain multiple systems, and your reporting and your transaction and reporting available in the real time. So both the things merged here in this system. So they said that we are going to provide you the new user experience. New user experience means right now, earlier we are using Microsoft Word, Excel, and those we are installing in our local system, laptop or desktop. But now it's not required. If you have a Google account, you can use the Google Docs as well. So for any type of user activities, no need to carry your laptop. Anywhere you will log in, and you are going to log into the cloud, and you can, or their database you are going to log in, and you can use your documents anywhere in the world if you have an internet connection. Same thing here also they have introduced, because now customers don't want to invest on the infrastructure. We don't want to invest on our own data center, on servers and all hardware. So SAP also invest lot of applications, and that will run on any device. No need to log in through VPN to the system through laptop or desktop. You can log into the system from any device, mobile, tab, laptop, anywhere. So now we are going to get the Fiori and WebGUI. Fine. And this is also, we got a new application layer or NetWeaver. We will see what is the latest pack it is added here. SAP NetWeaver, and this one change to your HANA database. So with this, due to this HANA, we can't say SAP is R3 architecture only. That means any organization, suppose we don't want to use any SAP product, let's say we don't want to use ECC, so we can, with this HANA, which is also capable of processing the data, or we can say we have an application layer there, inbuilt application layer, we can develop, or customer can develop the different Fiori apps. Fiori is not only restricted with SAP, so they can develop some different applications on UI5 platform, and they can use for that business. That means we are not going to use any SAP ECC or NSC SAP ERP. So that also possible. Or simply they can develop some web portal to plug the data. Because when we are going to operate in this area, processing required and database is required. These two required. For example, you are going to surf the Amazon. You want to see what is the stock of one particular mobile in Amazon. What you need? You need the one network. What is called that? NetWeaver. Something we need a Google browser, right? Chrome, suppose. So through Chrome, you are going to connect to their server, and you want to check how many stocks are there through their website, because that particular website is hosted in from a server, and we need to connect to there through a mobile, some browser. Same thing here. If both the things are brought together, now we can say this is tier 1, and how you are going to add and search the data. For that, you can use some applications, or you can develop some web portal, something. So this is a new user experience we can say with this they have introduced here. Now coming to this one. So far we traveled from 2011 till 2012. Now coming to 2013. Till 2013, there was no innovation from the application side, right? So whatever the innovations was there, it is only related to hardware, because so far whatever we discussed everything related to the database. Now first time here they changed the architecture of the application, or they try to simplify the things. But before that, what are the challenges in the current system? If we will see in the current system, what are the challenges from business point of view? If we'll say you are facing this issue currently in your organization, so what are the challenges? Business challenges, if we'll see. One second. So business challenges is one. This is the complex business user interface. That means right now, when user point of view, they are logged into the system. So many in one particular screen, so many fields are there. So it's very confusing, right? We need a simple system. That is one we can say. In this system, so one we can say like user, it's not a simple system. Transaction processing is very slow. Then reporting is also slow. This is a traditional system. Transaction is slow. Reporting is also slow. Then reports, whatever initially the characteristics was there in that system, those are the challenges we are facing. Or we are getting the like delay reports, outdated reports. And moreover, user point of view, we are doing lot of reconciliations are there. We are doing FICO reconciliation, we are doing FI asset reconciliations. Then we are doing lot of other reconciliation from bank point of view, we are doing the reconciliation. So lot of reconciliations. Why? Because right now we have so many tables are there. So here you will find open tables for customer, something different. When we are getting the payment, then clear tables, something different. We are getting GL tables are tables are different. We have line item tables, something different. Total tables are something different. So it's very confusing system, like if we'll say. So these are the business challenges, if you will see. Now database point of view, if you'll see what are the challenges. So database point of view, that is limited RAM, which already we discussed in detail. Then here we have multiple redundancy of data is there. As I told, lot of aggregations we are doing, lot of index tables are there, right? Total tables are there. And of course, the slow is one of the major factors here. Now, right now, if you'll see your system, it is like this. Let's say this is your management accounting. This is your asset. This is your payable, receivable, material ledger. Right now you have different type of tables are there, okay, for individual area, that means module and submodules. So these are the submodules. Similarly, when we are posting a document, suppose I am posting only financial transactions, some account I am going to debit, some account I am going to credit. So only one document will be generated in FI, that is your BKPF header info updated and BSEC updated. Suppose I am going to add cost object, cost center I am going to add. Automatic system is going to add some more tables. A second document will be updated. That means your COBK and COAP line items updated. So if we need a report now, suppose I need here two reports. One is your account report, GL, ABL3N, that is your GL line item. Also, I need a cost center report. So in that case, what we need to do, we have to take the data from BSEC. We have to take the data from COEP. Let's say we have added another cost object, or let's say some characteristics or value fields are added from profitability point of view. Now, one more table updated here. Along with that, one more table is updated, CE1 something, for the COPA informations. Similarly, let's say material ledger is there, MLIT updated. So that means we can say when we are posting the transactions or when we are searching the informations, system get updated in different tables with different area. So this is concept, or this concept is known as, or we can say in this is not principle of one. Fine. So that's why nowadays we are not saying FICO. We are saying that it is SAP accounting powered by HANA. That means we need one system where everything will be there in one single system. Not we need a different tables and different operations also. So another disadvantage is in this architecture, first of all, multiple table you need to extract, and second thing, you need to use the multiple BW extractors, because here data volume is so thing. For one transaction, right now, if we will post in ECC, you can see multiple documents are there. For profit center separate document, for COPA separate document, right? So instead of using this concept, or instead of using this one, we need some system or something where everything will be there in one single system. So that is the concept of universal journal. So right now, if I will say what are the index tables we are using, BSIS for GL, BSIS for cleared items in GL, for vendor open items, BSIK, cleared items, BSAK. So like this, you will find the list of tables are there. Can you tell me why we need an index table? As for your what is your understanding? Why we need so many index tables? What is the need of? Please answer. Why we need so many tables? We are using, although we are using, what is the logic?
If we need any specific data related to any transaction, we can directly go to the index table and retrieve the data.
Yeah, correct. What you are saying correct. But same information we can put it in the total table. Why index table is there? What you told correct.
Yeah. We have the individual line item details in those tables.
Same information is not there in the total table. For example, whatever there in the BSEG, it is not there in the Faggleflexed.
Uh,
It is there. Whatever there in the BSEG, it is there in the Faggleflex also. Index table is required. For example, let me take the same example. In BKPF, let's say, assume that you have 200 rows are there. In BSEG, let's say you have 400 rows are there. And we need to run the report, let's say FBL 1N. Vendor line item, because when you are posting the accounting document, sorry, the transactions, your accounting documents are due to reconciliation, also it is updated. And how many fields or how many rows we need here through this? Maybe 15, let's say, ABL1N. So because BSEG is not only updated with when you are posting a vendor invoice or when you are getting the payment, BSEG is also updated for other activities. Now, when you are searching some informations like related to 15 or let's say 20 items, 20 fields or 20 rows. So if we will try to pull the data from a huge BSEG table, which is around, let's say 400 columns, 400 rows, it will be very slow. That means you are searching something out of very vast area. So the system will behave very slowly, which is already a very slow system. So it is going to slow. That means process will be much more slow than. So that's why we have so many index tables: open item, BSIK, cleared items, BSIK. So if I need to check the open item, then we are going to operate, or when we are going to search in the BSIK. If I need the cleared item, we are going to search from the BSIK. That is the reason. Otherwise, whatever, when you are posting a customer vendor invoice, your BSIK updated. When you are collecting or making the payment, also BSEG updated. Whereas we are searching the index table. When you are executing the BSEG or in SE16, if you'll see a separate line item updated for the open item, or in SE16, if you'll see BSEG, separate line item updated for like. But same information is there also in your BSEG. That is the logic. So what you told, when we need to check the index table. The logic is because we need the information quickly. Rather than searching the information from the total table, we need the information from here. And in RDBMS system, every table should have a restrict number of columns, and we can't increase the number of columns as for our requirement. If we'll try to increase, then it will have an impact on the system. So that's why we have different tables. We have like open item tables, clear tables, and multiple tables. Okay, got it, Sunil? Need of index tables?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Then why the concept of reconciliation is there? Again, same, multiple tables are there. For example, when we are posting a accounting entry, okay, let me show you one example. This one in detail we are going to see in our asset accounting. I'm trying to log into the EC system. I want to check what are my asset documents are there. I've updated the document type asset. which is AA asset document, because Sailendra is new to this area. Let me show him. So here we have the list of document types are there to identify the transaction, and you can see asset is there, asset documents. That is someone changed this. This is asset document only. So AA. Now I want to search how many asset related transactions are there in this company code. See, nothing is there. Now let me check the line item APC value. But you can see here, see, 5000 is there. If I will check the asset explorer, I will get the value 5000 is updated with a particular asset, and you can see APC account is there. But why I'm not getting the document updated there when I was trying to search in FB3 document searches? Any idea on this? It is a system.
It is related to
not
posting by
reconciled.
FI document, na? Posting by FI document, that is KR LB60, that is FI document, not assets posting.
But this is how we used to, either you will purchase the asset through F-90 or you will raise the asset through PO. So it's anyhow this will be there. No, someone answered. Someone said reconciliation. What reconciliation?
Yes. It is not reconciled with the asset accounting, the F&I.
Yes, it is not reconciled it, or we have not performed this particular activity. ABST2. That means if I will show you the accounting entry, so it is, what is the accounting entry? Some asset debited and vendor credited. This is supposed to be the accounting entry. Or if you'll raise through PO, that is also the same. It is correct. The entry is correct. That means with this particular activity, we have only generated the operation part. It is the operation document. It is not the asset document. Entry is correct, but it is not yet reconciled with your operation document is not reconciled with asset. Or we can say right now in this case we have ANEA and ANEK separate tables are updated, so we have to do the periodical reconciliation, that is that same ABST2, then only it will update in the AA. So that like this, because we have different tables are there, vendor is updated somewhere, operation document is updated somewhere, asset document is going to update somewhere. So like this we have to see, or we are facing lot of reconciliation activities. Another example, when you are posting the transaction, your FI updated with BSIC, CO updated with COEP. So we have to do the reconciliation. If you are introducing only through primary cost element, then COSP. If secondary cost elements are introduced, COSS. So various tables are there. So if we will bring everything in one single table, then the concept of reconciliations are not required. So in S4hana, we will get one table, that is your universal journal, where we have 300 plus fields are there. Or that means we can say we are going to scratch this particular concept here. Instead of that, we are going to introduce one single table. And when we got this is innovated in the late 2013. So when they introduce the SFIN 1.0 simple finance, nowadays no one is saying it is simple finance, we are saying it is S4hana finance. When they introduced the SFIN 1.0, so that time they introduce one table, that is the universal journal table. Okay, instead of using multiple tables, they introduce here one table. This is only one table is there, AC doc A, and here we are going to get everything. So if it is GL, so in GL you are going to find your fields like it is there in the document. So we can, this one we will discuss in detail because a lot of things are there. Tomorrow we will do that. I will not manage the time today. Simplified the data model. Somewhere it was there. Yeah, see this one. So this is how just now we have seen. We have different areas are there, okay, and we periodically we are doing lot of reconciliations. Instead of that, you can see in Universal Journal we are going to get the we are going to get the data from GL, COPA, CO, Materializer, Asset, everything in one single table. Then we will see how these other tables are removed, the data footprint and all. We can do something more, but 10 minutes it's not enough. So far whatever the document I have shared with